o'clock.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Give a meeting with a moment of silence. This meeting is being recorded and televised by WHCA. I'd like a motion to approve bill and payroll warrants.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to accept correspondence in the read file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Approval of meeting minutes, open session September 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'll abstain, I was missing at that meeting. Open session October 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
I think I abstained. I don't think I was here.
Pardon?
I abstained because I wasn't here.
Okay. Scheduled hearings and meetings. Public hearing with respect to the application of SID Incorporated for the transfer of the wine and malt packaged goods store liquor license on the premises located at 535 2 Plymouth Street from D&D Whitman Market Incorporated doing business as DJ's Country Store to SID Incorporated doing business as DJ's Country Store.
On the motion?
Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Would you like to say something?
Sure. Good evening. My name is Attorney John Moradian, Democracy Law Offices. I'm here on behalf of SID Incorporated. SID Inc. is buying DJ's Country Store at 535-2 Plymouth Street. And we're seeking approval tonight of the transfer of the beer and wine license for the package store license, approval of the Whitman Patel's manager of record, and a pledge of the license and inventory to Welcome Trust Company as they are financing this transaction. This is new ownership in the business. There are no changes to the store footprint or anything like that. We just need the board's approval for the transfer of the license. Rudiments tip certified. They'll have 3 to 4 employees working at the store, and they'll use an ID scanner to check IDs for underage alcohol sales. It's going to remain a convenience store. Alcohol sales hours will be 8 a.m. to 11 Monday through Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 11 on Sundays, as permitted by the Mass statute. So with that, I'll look at any questions the board has on the transaction.
Does anyone have any questions?
No, but I guess there's a number of questions.
Okay, well, we'll act on the motion that's been made, and then there are a couple other motions that we need to act on, once that's approved.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Okay, Betsy did. And there was a second?
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, if that is approved, we have to act on the following. Application of SID Incorporated doing business as DJ's Country Store to pledge the wine and malt packaged goods store liquor license and the inventory on the premises located at 535-2 Plymouth Street. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Is this a state mandatory? You know, Mary Beth?
I'm sorry?
If this is state mandatory where they have to, you know,
I know that the 10 a.m. Sunday is a separate vote per the state. I assume the rest are
yeah.
sort of the same. Lori probably does.
Right, that Laurie does put this all together,
Okay.
so it's what we need.
Yeah.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Request of SID Incorporated to retain the Sunday sales hours beginning at 10 a.m. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And finally, the application of SID Incorporated doing business as DJ's Country Store for a common victuals license on the premises located at 535-2 Plymouth Street, subject to receipt of the license fee. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I just want to read this note. Approval of the transfer and pledge of the license and retention of Sunday sales hours should be subject to final approval of the ABCC, receipt of license and advertising fees, and surrender of the alcohol license currently held by D&D Whitman Market Incorporated. You're good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. You're welcome. Good luck.
Take care.
Next item on the agenda is the chairman's report. I just have a few things. I have a note here from Daniel Clancy to announce this again. The Sharps Needles and Drug Turn-In Day is this Saturday, October 26th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Whitman Police Department parking lot, 20 Essex Street. It's a drive-through event. No need to get out of your car. Needles, diabetes supplies, fertility treatment supplies, cancer/hospice supplies, EpiPens, auto injectors, old or unused meds. We will take it all. Clean it all out of your house and get it away from your kids, grandkids, and pets. Whitman residents only. No commercial medical waste questions. No commercial waste. No commercial medical waste. Okay, so that's Saturday. Needles Day is on Saturday, from 10 to 2 at the police department. I'd also like to pass out, finally, the liaison assignments. There have been a couple of changes. All of you, none of you said you wanted to change, but I did ask a couple of you to make a change, and this is now the official list of the liaison assignments.
I got two.
Now, as I was getting ready for the meeting tonight, something kept going through my head. And it's kind of a strange thing to go through my head. It's a strange head. But I recalled a movie called Wild at Heart, a 1990 movie that had Nicolas Cage in it and Laura Dern. And there was a line from that movie that I've had in my head for a long time. The whole world's wild at heart and weird on the top. The whole world is wild at heart and weird on the top. If you haven't seen the movie, see it. It's a good movie. But that line reminds me of some things. We're living that right now. We have reports of swastika in the neighborhoods. We have false rumored reports of illegal immigrants living in the Armory. We had a standout of over 300 people in Hanson over the weekend in support of a man who's breaking the law in Hanson by projecting something on the town tower, which is town property. We have the police having to pay attention to the house, particular attention to the house of the town manager in Hanson, who was one of our former colleagues, who merely did the right thing by telling that person that it was against the law and he should take it down. And her life has been threatened, and she's received nasty emails. All that's been going on over the last couple of days. The whole world is wild at heart and weird on the top. And basically, that's just an introduction this is just an invitation to all of you to go to the Whitman Freedom Teams meeting this Thursday night at the high school. 6:30 Thursday night in the high school theater. And it's for a night of unity, hoping to inspire and share the Whitman team's message of civility and mutual respect. Certainly it's timely. Unfortunately, it's really needed for us to come together to do that. So I invite you all to that meeting at the high school Thursday night at 6:30. And that's all I have for my report. Which means that we finally got to new business. And we recognize now the retirement of Detective Eric Campbell. Chief.
Good afternoon, Select Board. I'm going to invite Officer Kevin Chandler up, along with Detective Eric Campbell. Stepping up here. It's a momentous occasion. I know there's a proclamation coming out, but I am going to add to that. So, Eric Campbell is here with his wife Diane, daughter Morgan, and sons Dylan and Justin. They've always been supporting him, as families do, in the police profession. Over Eric's career, he's held many positions. He started off in the auxiliary unit. He moved on full-time into patrol. He's done DARE, SRO, longtime detective, and then there were a few I kind of One was the honor guard. I was volunteer at the time he was doing that, as well as the auxiliary liaison. So he's held many hats here, and all of those are appreciated. And then I got to thinking a little bit more, and in addition to that, he was a union president for many years, as you may well know. Keep those comments for later.
I have some particularly fond memories.
And so, yes. But he was also the evidence officer, and he's still the evidence officer until he actually retires. And those are kind of thankless jobs. The work needs to be done. And so what I can say about Eric Campbell is he's always been available to do those jobs to the best of his ability. He is as dedicated as they come in policing. And, so we appreciate it as a department. And now that it's kind of been made public that he's retiring, the residents here should really be appreciative too as well. So he's also very organized, and we're happy that he's retiring. I'm not sure who else is as organized as he is, especially when it comes to evidence. So we're gonna have to turn that over to someone full time. And in addition to that, I think it's later on in the agenda, but he won't be leaving us completely. He is also going to go back as a special officer, auxiliary special. So he won't really be gone necessarily. He'll just be around maybe less than he used to be, and not fulfilling as many of those hats. He'll be down to one. So I also want to present you with a retirement badge. And over the current union president, Kevin Schaefer.
Good evening, all. I'd like to thank everybody who came here to join, to support Eric here. On behalf of the union, we'd like to wish Eric and his family, especially Eric, a long and happy retirement, healthy retirement. And we have a little gift for him in terms of his dedication to not only the department, but for the town and for the union itself. For his 3 years as an auxiliary, his 24 years as full-time.
Nice.
Flag says, I'm going to read it. Presented Derek Campbell with great appreciation for your 24 years of service and dedication to the Whitman Police Department and the citizens of Whitman from March 22nd, 2001 to October 24th, 2024.
And I have a proclamation to read. Whereas, all of us haven't signed it yet. Once I finish reading it, it'll be signed, and then you can take it with you. Whereas Eric Campbell is retiring from the position of police detective effective October 23rd, 2024, having served the town for more than 27 years. And whereas Eric Campbell has served the town honorably, faithfully, efficiently, and with dedication, beginning as an auxiliary police officer in 1997, before becoming a full-time patrolman in 2001, DARE officer in 2004 to 2005, and school resource officer in 2008, before being assigned to the detective unit in 2012, all the while carrying out his duties in a manner that is a credit not only to himself, but to the town of Whitman as well. And whereas the valued services and untiring devotion of Eric Campbell has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated, and he will be sincerely missed by his retirement. And whereas the Select Board, on behalf of a grateful community, does hereby commend Eric Campbell for services rendered to the town. And whereas the Select Board of the town of Whitman does proudly proclaim Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, Eric Campbell Day in the town of Whitman. And on behalf of his citizens, wishes Eric Campbell many years of good health and happiness in his retirement and any future endeavors he wishes to pursue. We hereunto set our hands and town seal this 22nd day of October 2024 at Whitman, Massachusetts. And in a few minutes, it'll be signed by all of the people. Congratulations. now a song is going through my head, not a movie, The Sound of Silence.
Wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't.
Let me take this sticker off. Oh, I wanted to stand up.
Oh, no,
apologize. I was
Thank
doing
you.
that in the,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes, to you and your family.
It's where you know, right?
Okay, we're ready for the next item. Those of you who are here for Eric, if you didn't want to hang around to hear us do some other stuff, you will. But there is one other item here for Eric, and that's actually the next item. Act on the request of Chief Hanlon to appoint Eric Campbell to the position of Auxiliary Special Police Officer effective October 24th. That was a long retirement. 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're back on the job, Eric.
Heck of a retirement.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Still singing?
I didn't either at first. She's so pretty. She's so nice. She's very smart.
Next item on the agenda is the OCPC presentation on the Green Communities Annual Report. You could either do it from there or there, wherever you want to. Just introduce yourself and get it on.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. Appreciate you having me here. My name is Paulie Mano. I am the Senior Grants Development Specialist for Old Colony Planning Council. And I'm here just to do a quick presentation, just to show where the community is at in terms of your standing as a green community. As you may be aware, there are 5 criteria that is required for the community to be green. Oh, sorry about that. Not used to the setup here. So, again, as I was saying, in order to maintain your green community status, you have to maintain the 5 criteria. So I just wanted to go over that with you briefly. So the first is criteria 1, which is related to as-of-right siting. So either one of the following fall under. So renewable or alternative energy generating facilities, renewable alternative energy research and development, renewable or alternative energy manufacturing facilities in designated locations. So the town currently has a range, and we do municipal aggregation, a little bit of solar as well. So you've maintained that status throughout since you've been designated as a green community. The next criteria is related to expedited permitting. So most communities either fall under number 1 or 2, local rules and regulations as it relates to the permitting, or Mass General Law C-43D. Majority of the communities in our region fall under 1, and Whitman falls under 1 as well. So that's maintain that status relatively throughout. And then the third criteria I think is the most important, which is maintaining your energy use baseline data. So the idea is your baseline is FY 2014 is within the 5 years or greater to maintain at least 20% reduction. So you guys are doing an amazing job in terms of reducing your energy use throughout. So your 20% reduction in your municipal buildings, open space is well over 20%. Your traffic and streetlights are almost at 60%. Your vehicles are at 13% reduction, and then your water and sewer is at 7.6%. So just amazing work across the board as it relates to that. So as we look at some of the projects that you guys have done over the years since you've been designated, these are some of the ones that have stood out. So you've done your Council on Aging, you've done a high efficiency hot water heater there. You've done some insulation work at your fire department. At your police department, you've done some rooftop control units. At the town barn, you've done some EV charging stations and a boiler replacement project. And then here at the town hall, you've also done the boiler replacement project. And by no means is that an exhaustive list, but just some of the key highlights over the years. And then as you look towards the future, in terms of looking at projects going forward, want to take a look at obviously some of the buildings that are the greatest energy use. And based on the current data, those are the top 5 most energy use buildings. So that would be your town hall, followed by your police and fire stations, and then your library, and then finally the town hall. No surprise here, so those are also the highest carbon emission buildings. So again, the town hall, your police and fire, your library, and then followed by your town hall. And then lastly, as we look at energy use, we look at the energy use intensity, which is basically like, you look at it like your miles per gallon on the car, right? So what's the biggest gas guzzler energy use buildings? The list maintains relatively the same. So it's again your town barn, police station, here in town hall, your fire station, and then finally the armory building. So criterion 4 is related to the fuel efficient vehicle policy. You guys have done great as it relates to that, so there's been no reported violations in that. That remains relatively a good standard. And then finally, the last criteria is related to the stretch code, which is the more stringent building code as it relates to new construction. So it typically looks at the HERS rate on the new builds in the community, and that has remained status quo. There's no significant changes there. Highlights, again, you guys have done an amazing job with reducing your energy use, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with Kathy and the team to apply with the upcoming spring round coming. I know Chris Collins, who's your energy provider, has been looking at obviously the buildings that you just saw here, but throughout the town to see where you can apply for additional projects. And the possibilities are endless. So typical grant is around $225,000 for green communities. If you're an environmental justice location, you can apply for up to $250,000. Unfortunately, Whitman's not considered environmental justice, so you would fall in the $225,000 bracket. But if there was a decarbonization project, you could then apply for up to $500,000 in funding through that. So lots of great opportunities moving forward for the town as it relates to the program. And then finally, I just wanted to mention what DOE is determining the Green Communities 2.0. So there'll be more information on this coming, but just wanted to give you some of the highlights of what it's going to look like. And the maintenance of that is relatively the same. So, maintaining your good standing as it relates to the 5 criteria, establishing a local energy committee, committing to decarbonization goals by 2050, continuing to maintain your vehicle fleet policy, and continuing with the stretch code. So any additional information I get on this program, I'll be sure to pass it along to the town. And then finally, I just wanted to leave you with the context for the regional coordinator. Ours is Lisa Sullivan here in the region. And with that, I'll be happy to take any questions that I can certainly answer. And if not, I'll relay that information over to Lisa Sullivan, who's our DOE coordinator. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Anyone have any questions or comments?
I was just thinking that obviously the town barn is going to be greatly improved soon for, saving energy. But why is the town hall so much higher than the police department, which is open all the time? Do we need like better lighting or something, more efficient? Have you examined why or to get these figures?
I have not. So the figures basically come from your mass energy insight data. So all of it, like your gas, your electric bills, utility bills, all go into the system automatically, and then it produces a report. That's the data I pulled from the report. Certainly, you can take a number of different measures within the Green Communities program to lower that. And that's obviously certainly an option for you guys moving forward into the spring round. This coming cycle.
I was just assuming it was because it's an old building, but then I was thinking so is the police department, but people had worked very hard to put projects in, such as you support, to save money, and they obviously were working.
The square footage is much bigger than the town hall. Yeah, 3,800 square feet is something.
Yeah.
Got a number of boilers that are near end of life here. I think that's part of the 30 problem.
That's what I'm thinking, older things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, very informative.
Just one kudos I wanted to give, you highlighted the energy reductions over a number of years. And the streetlights was all Lisa Green, or now twice mentioned in this meeting, former assistant town administrator, a project that she spearheaded and really converted them all to LEDs using Green Communities grant. So I think credit where it's due. It saved us 60% off our it was a carbon emissions track there, but effectively
Yeah, your
energy
emissions,
usage,
your energy use.
I have a quick question. Is there anything about an organic waste program?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's certainly a question I can ask Lisa.
Anyone else?
I wanted to make an announcement. It's about Old Colony Planning Council. I believe they're having a meeting at the library tomorrow night
Yes.
at from 6:30, from 6 to 7:30 on an open space plan. Are you going to announce that? I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well, I'm the delegate to open into it, so
You just want to read
I'm
that.
going to read it.
Sure.
Whitman Open Space and Recreation Plan, public meeting, join Old Colony Planning Council and the Town of Whitman's OSRP Steering Committee for a public meeting to learn about the OSRP process and share your open and recreational needs, priorities, and areas of concern and improvement with team. Yeah, there's a lot of areas that people are talking about, especially the Girl Scout field that's up by the Rotary. The
Give
campsite.
Alice Cotton.
Yeah, they're pros and cons of what they're looking to do at. And then you get on Route 14, you have all that area with the National Grid, but I do not know if we own it or if National Grid owns it, where the wires are. You got that farm land area that was up there.
Mhm.
So, but that's it. I know you know where it is.
Yes, I do.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is to act on the request of Homestead Harvest for a one-day liquor license on Saturday, November 16th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the purpose of holding an open mic night, subject to receipt of the license fee on or before November 14th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Act on the request of Timothy Travers to be appointed to the Bylaw Study Committee for a one-year term through June 30th, 2025, in order to fill an existing vacancy.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Act to accept the resignation of William Harron as a member of the Whitman Cultural Council effective immediately. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Okay, next item on the agenda is to set the FY25 trash rate.
Yes, I don't see Bruce Martin here. I thought he was going to be here this evening, but I do have his recommendation based on the costs, and he's recommending this year that we have a trash rate of $360.
300 what?
$360,
60?
correct.
Did he say anything about senior discount,
Yes, they'll still have that
which is 25?
25, correct. And the rate for fiscal 24 was $335. It is going up 25.
Could you say that again? What was the rate for?
For fiscal 24, it was $335. For fiscal 25, $360, based on the contract that we just.
I think it was a 2-year contract when we signed it last year. We only ate
Correct.
half the increase last year because
That's
it was
right.
split. Yeah. So this was anticipated last year, although still unfortunate.
So if we could have a vote on that, that would be.
Okay, someone like to move that?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes. Just bringing up the organic waste, I think that might be something that we should look into to keep some of the weight out of the trash. I know how the other communities do it and do it pretty well. I was it'd be good to get some feedback from the DPW about it. But,
I can send him an email tomorrow and look into it, and have Bruce look into it, certainly.
What would they do with it?
a separate bucket for your organic waste.
food.
Keep that out of the trash bucket to keep the weight down. And then you can move that into like organic compost and whatnot.
Add it with the leaf pile, compost pile.
They do multiple different ways.
Huh?
Communities have done this, so they do it different ways. But it's worth looking into.
Okay, you'll carry that to the DPW people, right?
I most certainly will, tomorrow.
Been moved and seconded, I think. All those in favor?
Yep.
Okay. Act on the amendments to December 2nd, 2024 special town meeting warrant.
Yes. So the change to the warrant that you voted at the last meeting is basically we just stripped off the articles for the Whitman-Hanson district.
Mhm.
So we had put these on for the December meeting. These were the articles that were passed over at last May's meeting. Hanson did vote some at their special, so we put them on for ours. However, the information that came in, only one article was identical to what we had in May. And then the others were different and different amounts. And I believe George Farrow even expected these to be put on in May. He knows about it. He's fine with them being held. So I just took those off of the warrant. So basically, we just have 4 articles on the town meeting warrant. So if we could just agree with that and take a vote to just remove those articles, that would be great.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank
One
you.
thing,
Yes.
do we make this public comment?
It's not on here. We didn't miss it. It wasn't on. I don't know why it wasn't on.
Probably wasn't on the school committee vote night and
Got it. Is there anyone here that wants to speak on something that's not on the agenda? Okay, great. We didn't need it.
Just making sure.
But thanks, no, thanks for finding
I was wondering what was going on.
deciding.
There were so many people in the room though, it was like,
We have to sign the
Okay,
warrant.
where are we?
I have the signature page.
Discuss election day parking.
Yes, so if you don't mind, I'll start with that. So currently, we do have a policy in place for, it's a policy for parking during elections. And I believe this was adopted in May 28th of 2019. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to read it. The town hall located at 54 South Ave is the polling place for elections in the town of Whitman. The following policy for parking on South Avenue near the town hall shall apply on days when elections are conducted at the town hall. For all elections, parking in spaces located within 180 feet of town hall shall be limited to 30 minutes duration in order to provide parking for those wishing to vote in elections. For federal elections, parking within 180 feet of town hall shall be limited as noted above. And in addition, all election workers shall park at the parking lot at the senior center and at Memorial Field, and the COA will provide bus transportation to and from the town hall and Memorial Field. During federal elections, employees shall be restricted from parking in the town parking lot. Any exceptions to this policy shall be approved in advance by a vote of the Board of Selectmen. So that is what we had in place. And the town clerk has spoken with Mary Holland from the COA director at the COA. And Dawn has said that she didn't have election workers that needed the bus this year. So we would like to do away with this policy and instead do what we've done before in the past. And it's a memo that we put out in order to accommodate voter access to the town hall during the November 5th, 2024 presidential state election. Parking in the town hall parking lot for the duration of the election is restricted to those coming to the town hall to vote. This will require all employees elected and appointed to park off-site for the entire day. And thank you for your attention to this matter. If you have any questions or should you require any additional information, please do not hesitate to contact me. So that's what we would like to go back to doing this. We have the municipal parking lot across the street. We have the municipal lot in back of the Duval's area there, and then parking on the street. If we allow the town hall workers to park there, then in this big election, there's nowhere for the voters to park.
So town hall employees will park down by the police station?
No, we're getting away from the bus. Mary, if you want to just address the board with how getting a bus and.
Well, so first of all, Mary Holland, I don't know who, the aging director. as you all know, our parking lot is so tiny. Like you put the 4 employees in there and half the lot's gone. So that was a problem, first of all. Second of all, I have 2 bus drivers. One lives in Carver, one lives in Whitman, but their hours are nothing of what is needed to shuttle workers on the day of an election. It's like 5:30 in the morning and then 9 o'clock at night, so I can't make them do it. I could ask them, but I can't make them work those hours. And it's not even like a real, you're talking a half an hour in the morning they want to shuttle and then an hour at night. So it's not really conducive on our end.
No buses stand.
No.
So,
Well, I'm just wondering where the employees that are working will be parking in that town parking lot that's behind.
Or the parking lot in back of Duval's is a municipal, or on the street, out back
Or
here.
potentially getting dropped off.
Right, dropped off,
to get
picked
one
up.
day.
Yeah.
I don't know what everybody's situation is, but if it was me, I would potentially get dropped off that day and picked up just to avoid, because obviously it's a busy day with a lot of people coming and going.
I think if they parked on the street, we'll say in the center of town, where the businesses are, they'll be a little upset about that.
No, I
Some
wouldn't
parking
recommend
spaces.
that.
And if they park along the street where town hall is, I mean, they're gonna take up parking for voters.
No, they can't there either, but we've had comments in the past before where parking lot, there was nowhere in the parking lot for the voters to park. So we've done this under a former town clerk, Pam Martin, for years and
Yeah.
years, and it seemed to work well.
okay, I'd like a motion to go back to the old way.
I'll make that
Yes.
motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Great.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just if there's any hardships, any individual employee can't walk the distance from wherever it's self-enforcing, right? We're not
Right, absolutely.
finding town employees that park in the lot.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
November meeting schedule.
Well, I would say the 12th and the 26th. The 5th is the presidential election. Now, the 26th, though, is Thanksgiving week, so I don't know how you feel about that date.
Oh, Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Correct.
After Thanksgiving.
What do you guys think?
Let's see.
I'm good with the first one.
Pardon?
I'm good with the first date.
Yeah,
I'm a little up in the air about the second date because I'm supposed to be in Florida, but I won't know until the day before if I even go.
that's okay.
It'd just be the one.
It's all right.
So
You
we're looking,
guys are right with the Tuesday before Thanksgiving? Or are you catching, bagging turkeys? Okay, 12th and 26th.
12th and 26th. Okay, great.
Okay, town administrators report.
I had 2 items, and you took care of one, the sharps, and Dan took care of the other, the
I'm
open
sorry.
space. No, that's fine. So I'm all set there.
Okay, so, we need to go into executive session. First one, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the DPW Employees Union, AFSME, Council 93, Local 1700, the Whitman Firefighters Union, Local 1769, IAFF, the Whitman Public Library Employees Union, SEIU, Local 888, the Police Union, Whitman Police Association, Mass Cop number 494, and the Town Hall Employees Union, OPEIU, Local 6. An open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, the chair so declares. So we're going to have a general discussion of negotiations for this year, and there are a lot. The second executive session, pursuant to General Law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A1, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health, rather than professional competence of an individual, or to discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints or charges brought against town officials by the assessors. And we'll go right into that one after we finish with the first one. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
yes, so moved.
Second.
Sean?
Yes.
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 Okay, we're in executive session and we'll come back in open session. I'd like to adjourn.